Welcome to Super Dave's RC. It's done. This was a toy Bratz tour bus. It was a little girl's toy, and it had a hot tub in the back that would pop down. The little dollies could go back here and swim in the hot tub, and then they had all your boom box and your stereo stuff up here so they could jam out to the tunes, and had a pop top. It was pretty neat, and you can see some pictures of that in the earlier build videos. If you're curious, you might want to check it out. It was a straight rolling back and forth toy. Didn't even have any type of steering, just simple metal axles, and just a little rolling back and forth action, and that was it. Like the Bratz hot rod, which actually inspired the search, started looking for additional Bratz vehicles and found several others, so you'll see more of these coming. I have essentially a Land Rover type vehicle and a couple others. Safari?
Land Rover, like Safari style.
Oh yes, like a Safari style Land Rover type thing, correct. It's going to make for a really neat build. Anyway, this is a 6-wheel drive, twin engine, nitro. It's got two HPI Savage 4.6 engines, running a single speed transmission down there into the front axle up there, and then down through the center to the rear, and the world's smallest dog bone back here. See if we can get it to spin up so you can see it here. That's actually a tiny little dog bone. And I tell you, if anybody can tell me what that came from, I would be eternally grateful, because I have no idea. But it would be so cool to have another one so I could build another tandem. It's about, maybe 15 millimeter long. Anyway, if you know, please let me know in the comments below. I would be eternally grateful. And I'll send you a little tiny Whoop clone drone as a thank you. Anyway, we are doing more Facebook Live videos, so if you like watching the Super Dave build videos, please check those out. We're going to try and do them at 10 p.m. once in a while. Yes, I'd like to have a schedule and all that stuff too, but all right, you want to have my shit together. Oh, pardon my language. Anyway, we'll try and do it at 10 o'clock. We'll try and do it every night, maybe 5-10 minutes. And we will try and do it rated PG. Yes, I'll watch my language and be saying Smurf like always. I will. I promise. And we'll try and go over various things as they come up. And we'll try and take your questions and things like that. And you could please suggest a topic. That would be great. Anyway, on to the little rant here. We've got, again, two Nitro Savage 4.6s on here. The throttle linkage is kind of cam actuated, which allows it to provide a rather more controllable throttle sweep here. Help have my radio reversed properly here, and there we go. By putting the throttle on a cam, it allows a lot of control for the first half, and then slams it open to give it full power if you ever want to deploy that. During the prototype testing, we found that the original fiber brake was not sufficient, and that smoked pretty quick, so we ended up putting a nice steel disc in there, and also used some additional brake liners from larger brakes to give us a really good contact patch on that disc surface. And boy, I tell you, even though it is a single disc, the brake locks great, has really good control and modulation. The original prototype also used a body plate off the original toy, and during the road testing, it was found that the thing basically disintegrated. The thing was just too much mass for it. So we went ahead and polished out the frame. If you have anything that's aluminum, you can simply get a buffering pad, and or just a rag and some elbow grease and some Mother's mag and aluminum polish, and shine it up. Things are rather dingy right now from the assembly process, but it will gleam like a mirror, and we'll show you what the bottom of the chassis ended up like. You can see some of the reflection of the tools there. Hi. So again, the secret to polishing is simply getting the surface smooth and smooth and smooth. This rear chunk was actually some sort of steel or alloy. Had to take it out to the shop and use the buffer with Jeweler's Rouge to get that polished out. But boy, it really shined up nicely. The front is aluminum. That shined up real easy. Again, aluminum shines up so nicely. And the better quality of aluminum, the more robust it'll be. The chassis ended up having to be mounted to the body. We've got body mounts on the sides and one central mount point up in the front, right in there. That center mount goes right to the bulkhead and the chassis brace. And even though it's one tiny little piece of metal, that body is rigid. There is no wiggle, no flobbery, no mess. We might end up putting another one on the side because that might put a little bit too much strain on that plastic. Come to think about it, as this body's rocking around, that'll probably work loose. So I'll probably adapt something to mount under here. Anyway, and we've got the other mounts here. These are arms off of an XTM Mammoth. If you've got an XTM Mammoth, post pictures. They are one of the neater RC trucks that's no longer around. The lights are controlled by a receiver underneath here, and you can change color and all that happy stuff. Unfortunately, I forgot one wire when I was gluing everything down. But you see the rest of the wires, covered them with ES6000 and then painted over top of them, and that kind of helped them really just disappear. We're running, these are shocks off of a Revo, revalved and resprung to give us some nice spring weight with our body on there. We've added a sway bar back in here. Control a little bit of the side to side. It's going to be a little top heavy. I'm not sure. It might not be, actually, come to think about it, because it is fairly lightweight, but we'll find out how it handles. It's going to be very high speed. It's got, I ended up gearing it right about in the very, very tall gearing. It's got no lag out of the hole, but if it was any more, it would probably have a little bit of an issue. But with the twin engines, it's got plenty of punch, and boy, it has got some legs. And we will have this thing out at Southside Speedway JMW Motorsports on the asphalt oval, doing some speed runs. And I'm planning on putting an FPV camera in it so I can sit and drive it from in here, and you'll be able to drive with me. We'll try and do a FaceTime or Facebook Live with that type of thing, so you can check it out, and we'll see what we can get this thing up to. The unfortunate part when you build things like this, you don't necessarily realize what's going to happen until you do it. I had the exhaust coming up straight through the top, and that ended up, when the engines are cold, they barf out a lot of raw nitro sometimes, and well, that rained and took out the majority of the paint. I went ahead and touched up what I could a little bit here, but it's going to need to be redone, and we'll do that when I get to my next place, which is hopefully Pulaski. One thing, if you need to strip paint, there's stuff called Goof Off. There's a couple strippers and cleaners that I use. The Goof Off is one, and another one is called Goo Gone. The one called Goo Gone works great for getting off, simple sticker residue and things like that. Goof Off is much stronger. I actually use it to strip paint off of plastic. So with this here, it would be impossible to sand with all these little nubs. I will use the Goof Off, and it'll strip all the way back to plastic, and I'll be able to reshoot it like nothing ever happened. So again, Goo Gone for the light stuff, Goof Off if you want to get it all off. Again, when the body shattered, had to go back to using the chassis as the superstructure. So we added some additional chassis bracing in here, and again, that goes up to that central body mount post up here. And then added this plate back in here to lock in the rear structure, and she is pretty rigid. I have to install the fuel tanks on the saddles back here and install the fuel lines, and then we'll have it out at Ace Hobbies tomorrow night. If you want to come out and check it out, we're going to be doing the demolition derby, and it's a real fun family night. Got a lot of kids coming out checking it out, and let's just show you what we've got over here, because my little cutesies came up with their own little paint scheme and went bananas with my nail polish collection. And this is one of them right here. Yeah. You can get the bodies from Ed at JMW Motorsports, and the folks down at Ace Hobbies can help you find them there. And they're not too bad. They're really a fun thing that you can get into with the family. I think Ed sells packages for about $350 with the body, and that's if you think about it, what's an Xbox cost? The kids can get something like this, and they can paint it, they can color on it. You can get some markers. Well, they're meant to get the snot beat out of them, so let them banging them around. What's more fun to a little kid than smashing stuff up, right? Well, when things get bent, you straighten it back out. Good as new. Not only that, your kid learns to the idea that, hey, things can get damaged, things can get broke. You don't need to cry about it. You just fix it and go have some more fun. And that's what you really want your kids to do, is have some fun. And for something like that, that's a hell of a lot more fun than an Xbox, ain't it? I sure think so. Anyway, I hope to see you out there at Ace Hobbies again tomorrow night at the Derby. It's going to be a great time. Come out and see the Bratz band. And by the way, I need a name for this thing in the worst way. Don't exactly know what to call it. Don't exactly know what the hell it is. If you could tell me what the hell this thing is, I'd appreciate it. Is it a truck? Is it a van? Is it a bus? What the hell is it? I just don't know, man. I just don't know. It's an El Camino minibus from hell. Psycho Outer Space Monkeys. Anyway, I've been up entirely too long. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching these build videos. I've been enjoying making them. Hopefully we'll get a little better on their production value. We'll try to do a little bit more homework and have some agendas posted for our tech tips. For right now, we'll just kind of play things by ear with the move, and we'll just kind of go over stuff. If you have some suggestions, please post them, and it'll give us some ideas. And anybody out there in the internet world, if you have access to one of these buses, I would love it, even if it's smashed to heck, because I need a windshield. So, if you do, let me know. And I tell you, as always, we appreciate all your support. We couldn't have done this without you guys. We thrive on recycling this stuff, and this is what happens when you get enough junk. You can make some pretty cool stuff. Hope you enjoy these videos again, and try and join us at Ace Hobbies tomorrow night, and check in once in a while. 10 o'clock, we'll try and do one here Saturday night. 10 o'clock tech tip, Super Dave's RC. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.